Hello, my name's SJ Ira. I'm a love oracle, a remote viewer, and what I'm doing with these videos is helping you see. So I want you to see the matrix. Now the matrix operates, you go to the garage to put in petrol. Your child goes to school, you work 9 to 5. But sometimes the matrix goes a bit wonky. Now people like me, which are remote viewers, we keep an eye on the matrix the whole time so that we can see what's actually happening, because we also read patterns. So I noticed a few glitches in the matrix starting. It started 6 months ago when I started to notice that once a week there was an AI story that didn't make sense. Now it's like 4 or 5 a day, so you get put off going onto social media. The only reliable sources nowadays are the books written in the past, but are they? Because they can change as well, you know, with the Mandela effect. So what have I got for you today? Today I have got the old man that was arrested when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Remember that guy? He was arrested in like 1 minute, an old man. And there were very dramatic photographs. And then Candace Owens found footage that 30 seconds before he was on the other side of the stadium, he was wobbling off the steps as the assassination happened and his trousers fell down. And it looks just like a Where's Wally scenario. It's really quite bizarre. So you'll see Piers Morgan interviewing somebody who's, yes, probably, well, is definitely a narcissist or psychopathic or AI, because the program gets jammed. I swear to God. And when you have a look at it, on the left, you'll see an Israeli, such a beautiful, humble man. And on the other side, you're going to see someone who's like a different human species. And every time I watch it, I can't stop giggling at the way that Piers Morgan is going. Because Megyn Kelly, Piers Morgan, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, they're all seeing it too. And Russell Brand. And I'm seeing it. So what's the other thing? Oh, the other thing is this tribe that's set up in Scotland, an African tribe. Go and tell me what you think about that. Tell me that the matrix is not on acid at the moment. There is a virus in the system. So we don't have to get freaked out. And then there was something else which I did. I'll have a look later because I can't really remember. I know there was another one that was really good. But I'll put them all together and I'll put them into one long program, and then I'll also split them up. Because if you find it interesting and you want to learn how to see, that's the way to do it. Hang in there, life's going very strange. The thing is to do, hold on to people which are real, authentic and true. Find your tribe. And don't have any fear. Don't freak out. Just dream bigger dreams. And let's dream a whole new reality so that this new earth has a new beginning. So this is Piers Morgan interviewing a beautiful human being, Israeli, and on the other side, interviewing an AI program or a different human species.
Getting our brothers back from captive.
Yeah. Okay, Yotam, just stay there for a moment. I'm going to bring in someone who's been listening to this whole debate. He's a former IDF sergeant and current IDF reservist, Benjamin Anthony. Benjamin, welcome back to Uncensored. You've been listening to Yotam, Dilk. You both served in the IDF. What's your response to what you've just been hearing?
Well, I mean, he's just said a lot. Is there anything specific that you'd like me to respond to? Please let me know. Before I do, I just want to make something very, very clear. Yotam, I'm speaking to you as a veteran of this same war. I served inside the Gaza Strip during this war. I did so in a rather unique position, which gave me really something of a bird's eye view about what's going on there. But I really do want to begin by just saying, regardless of whether you and I agree or disagree, I thank you for your service. I thank you for your military service. I thank you for your leadership there, according to the op-ed that I read with great interest, profound disagreement. But I cannot decry the sacrifice and the service that you've put there. It's deeply appreciated, and I want the viewers to know that it's deeply appreciated. Any criticism that I bring, therefore, will be not against you as a human being, but perhaps against the policies and the comments that you've made.
Okay, well, that's fair enough, and thank you for saying that. But what is your criticism then of the op-ed piece that Yotam wrote?
Well, I think my criticism is rather endless, if I may say so. First of all, I'm deeply disappointed by the fact that he has relied exclusively upon the evidence put forward by the so-called Gaza Health Ministry, who we all know is Hamas, when it comes to identifying the number of people who have been killed inside the Gaza Strip. There's no reason to take the word of a terror organization, and I'm very disappointed that he's decided to do so.
How many do you think have been killed?
I think approximately 30,000 people have been killed.
Well, hang on. Well, okay, but hang on. Sorry, Benjamin. All due respect.
No. You asked me to respond.
I'm sorry, but just
I want to respond.
Well, yes, but you can't
Piers,
just.
I've watched you do this. You interrupt all the time.
No, I don't.
And you throw out these red herrings.
You said something I have to challenge.
Have been killed. I've answered you. I want to finish responding to your earlier question, and then you can ask me whatever you want.
No, actually, that's not how this works. Sorry, no. If you say something I want to challenge, I will challenge it. If you don't want to be challenged on it, that's fine.
Not once.
You don't have to answer my question.
Not once did you interrupt your time.
It doesn't matter what I did with my other guest.
Fire away.
I asked you how many have been killed. You have set the death toll. You mean the total death toll is 30,000? Is that what you just said?
No. If you'd let me finish without interrupting with a question, you might understand my answer in full. The estimates are that there are approximately 30,000 Hamas fighters who have been killed. Now, that is a very reasonable number. By the way, there are more to be killed, and I'm very pleased that the Israel Defense Forces continues to take the fight to these terrorists inside the Gaza Strip in the careful, principled manner that we do, that I'm sure that Yotam did, that I'm sure that Yotam's peers did, and that I'm confident will continue to do as we ratchet up the pressure against Hamas in Gaza City in the event that the trigger is pulled on that operation.
Sorry, but just to be clear, what is the total number then of civilians who've been killed?
So the estimate currently is that there is something in the realm of one terrorist killed, and in that context, 2 civilians killed. So that's a very, very low.
So 60,000 civilians have been killed?
Those would be the estimates, right?
So your death toll.
So you
just to be clear.
No, but let me explain.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will now say something. You won't just filibuster me. What you just said, if I may be clear.
Is my death toll. Listen to me. It's very important. You don't have to become animated. My death toll is broken down. Terrorists to civilians. Now, I think in a battlefield, in a combat zone, that's a pretty important caveat to have when throwing out numbers.
But just to be clear, you said that the Hamas
do you want me to go on to refute other things that your Tam said or not?
You said that the number that the Gaza Health Ministry, which is Hamas run, that their numbers were wrong. But unless I'm mistaken, your total numbers are higher than theirs. You just said 2 to 1. Civilians.
What I'm saying about the Gaza Health Ministry, because I think this is a very simple point, and I don't understand why it's struggling to be understood by you. What I'm saying about the Gaza Health Ministry, and this is something that's been part of this war since the beginning of the conflict, is that there's absolutely no differentiation between terrorists who have been killed and civilians who have been killed. It has to be taken into account. It's not in the op-ed. You asked me to respond.
So how many civilians have been killed, do you think?
I've answered your question.
What's the number?
I've answered your question.
Give me the number.
No, I've answered your question.
I'd like you to give me a number.
A very clear ratio. And one of your great errors is that you continue.
I tell you what, don't worry about my interviewing skills. You worry about your maths.
Of a battlefield.
Okay. How many civilians have been killed?
I've answered you about Hamas.
What's the number?
I've then given you the ratio. You can go away and do the mathematics.
No, you can do the maths.
I have told you. No, I've told you. I've answered you.
Tell me.
I've answered you.
Tell me the number.
I've answered you.
Why won't you tell me how many civilians have been killed?
Why won't you take my earlier answer?
Give me the number.
It's approximately 2 civilians per enemy combatant.
Okay, so let me stop you. Let me stop you.
I'm confident.
So in other words, 60,000 civilians have been killed. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I've said it to you before. Other people have said this to you. These are estimates. Nobody knows with any certainty.
You just said 60,000.
No, hang on. Including me, including the Hamas Authority, including
Benjamin, I don't think you realise what you said.
You'll have to. No, I realise
your
exactly
numbers are much higher than the Gaza-run health ministry. Do you not understand what you told me?
No, I understand very, very well.
2 civilians to 1 terrorist, 30,000 terrorists. 2 times that is 60. That's 90,000 people have been killed. That is way higher than the numbers given by the Gaza Health Ministry, which you've tried to say are wrong.
First of all, it's not higher. These are the numbers that your TAM quoted in an op-ed that is back in August.
You just told me. You just told me 2
was
civilians for every terrorist killed. You said
this
30,000 terrorists. Therefore, your total is over 90,000. The Gaza Health Ministry isn't that high.
This opinion piece was written in August 2025.
Yeah, Benjamin,
Okay?
I don't think you understand what you've told me. You don't want me to challenge you because you don't realise what you've said.
You're welcome to challenge me. You asked me to refute the op-ed.
Okay, are you now saying 90,000 Palestinians have been killed, including 30,000 Hamas? Are you saying
the question has been asked?
Are you saying 90,000 have been killed?
Not? Your question has been asked.
Benjamin,
and answered.
simple question. By your maths, are you telling me 90,000 people have been killed in Gaza? Yes or no?
I've told you the calculus.
You did.
I've told you the ratio
I've done the maths.
between the
30,000 Hamas,
civilians,
2 to 1 civilian to terrorist. That's 90,000.
Of the ratio.
That's 90,000.
Very, very proud of the ratio of
Benjamin, I think you know what you've done, don't you?
Yes, I've told you the truth.
You know that your numbers are way higher than the Gaza Health Ministry. The ministry you say has massively exaggerated the death count.
You're dancing around a point that I've made to you. It's a very clear point. I'm sure your viewers are.
No, we can all hear what you're saying.
No. You are quoting here in this op-ed. This op-ed was written.
No, I'm quoting you.
No.
You.
No, I stand by.
You. 30,000 terrorists. 2 to 1 civilians to terrorists, so 60,000 civilians, that's 90,000. What can't you understand, Benjamin? Do you not do basic maths?
No, I understand everything. You are making the error of thinking that you somehow have me on the run. You don't.
I do.
Stand by the numbers.
I do.
I explain the breakdown of the numbers.
Sure.
If you want to obsess about that, you can do.
I'm just trying to get my head around what you've told me. Do you say, is your position that 90... Is your position,
let me speak.
Is it 90,000 then, the death toll?
1 terrorist killed and approximately 2 civilians killed.
I heard you.
As a ratio. That is a very good ratio.
Yes.
And the estimates of the terrorists are 30,000.
Yes.
So I stand by the number. I stand by the total.
Yes.
I'm very proud of the way in which we prosecute.
Yes, Benjamin, can you do basic maths?
The number in this opinion piece piece speaks only and exclusively about a general number.
Yeah.
It doesn't break down those numbers.
Yeah, Benjamin.
We're now a month beyond. We're in the next
Benjamin,
month. This is
Benjamin, you can keep talking, Benjamin. But here's the problem with your maths.
Yeah.
It's a total of over. It's a total of over 90,000. Your numbers are way. Do you not understand, Benjamin?
I stand by my math.
So you're
stand by the math.
Okay. So what you're saying, just to be clear, if you stop talking for a minute, Benjamin, stop talking for a minute.
Will you let me respond?
No, I want you to shut up. Right?
Well,
You've now said your opening position with my other guest was that the Gaza-run health ministry cannot be trusted on the casualty numbers. Yet your numbers are way higher than the Gaza health ministry. Explain.
But what? Okay, can I explain?
Yeah.
I've done it already. Will you allow me to explain?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, number one, categorically, I stand by those estimates.
Sure. 90,000.
Yeah, I stand by the estimate.
Okay, so your numbers are way higher than the Gaza health ministry.
You will not let me explain.
Because your numbers are higher.
You're behaving, it's completely irrelevant to the point I'm making. If you'd let me make a point,
you said that their numbers are wrong. Yours are higher.
Here precisely
you think more have been killed?
Natasha Hausdorff, you're doing precisely what you
Well, you know what? When people talk utter crap, Benjamin, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Will you let me answer your allegation so that people...
It's not an allegation, it's just your maths.
No, Piers, you keep talking about maths as though I haven't already acknowledged a number, given a number.
90,000.
That's... how many times do you want me to answer?
Is it 90,000, Benjamin?
How many times do you want me to answer? I've just answered that.
Benjamin, just confirm for me, you believe 90,000 people have been killed in Gaza, yes or no?
My issue is very, very
Benjamin,
clear.
do you believe 90,000 people have been killed in Gaza?
Again, this is now the fourth or fifth time that I'm going to address myself.
Go on. Is it 90,000 or not?
You haven't got a Paxman moment. I'm answering you directly.
Is it 90,000 or not?
The estimate is 30,000 Hamas terrorists have been killed during the course of this week.
Yes.
The additional estimate by the IDF is that in the course of pursuing those terrorists, 2 civilians have been killed.
I heard you.
For each terrorist.
I heard you.
Where is my issue? So you've added that up, you've come to the figure of 90,000, and I stand by it. You seem to try to.
No, I want you to say 90,000 people have been killed.
I'm not trying to move away from anything. I've answered you.
No, you haven't. You won't say the number.
What? I've just said it 10 seconds.
What is the number,
This is a ridiculous
Benjamin?
interview.
What is the number?
90.
Okay, great. So you accept then that your number is way higher than the number of the Gaza Health Ministry have put out.
That's not the issue at play.
You literally started this whole debate by saying the big mistake that Yossam was making, was believing the Gaza Health Ministry, and actually your number is way higher.
Can I explain to you why? Because what the Gaza Health Ministry, whenever he took those numbers, which at least we know is back in August, what the Gaza Health Ministry, quite frankly, what too many spokespersons fail to do is to break down the number within that group.
Got it. Well, I'm very glad you've broken it down, because your numbers are higher than the Gaza Health Ministry.
I stand by that, Piers.
Sure,
when you throw
I know you do.
60,000 or 90,000, it behooves us to know how many within that are terrorists, how many are civilians, and how do you get to the ratio?
No, I get it.
The basic convention of war.
I get it. We spent literally 15 minutes.
You are clearly trying. No. You are clearly trying to have your viewers take a number without any context. I don't want that to be the case.
The context is very clear.
I appreciate the context. And by the way, the people who are realistic understand that in war, such things occur.
I get it, Benjamin. Unfortunately,
can I comment?
Do you want
Can
to
I
talk
comment
about
to
anything else?
Yeah, Benjamin, you seem
Maybe
to
I'll comment to that.
You can, Yossam, I just think, Yossam, the reason I've kept pursuing this is because obviously if your opening gambit is that you, Yossam, are using numbers which are false because they're exaggerated, because the Gaza Health Ministry cannot be believed because it's Hamas run. But then Benjamin Anthony gives a much higher figure for the number of people who've died in total, including Hamas terrorists and civilians, then you can understand my bemusement, which is why I spent 15 minutes trying to get him to explain why his numbers are way higher than the official Gaza Health Ministry numbers.
That's not what occurred.
Yes.
That's not
Yossam,
what
over to you.
I'm trying to explain the context, and you're trying to skip over.
Actually, you know what, Benjamin, you're talking complete bullshit. So,
there you go. Repeat.
And this is what happens. And I know what's going to happen. You're going to run off and you're going to say, I shouted at you and I said bullshit, and you're going to play the victim. But actually, it really matters that you talk bullshit.
Do not agree with you. People don't agree with you, Piers, and you will not discuss anything.
No, I'm happy to agree with you. Your numbers are higher than Hamas's.
Like people talking BS.
Yeah,
it's not the case. Everybody knows it's not the case.
Yes.
And I'm not here.
I know, Benjamin.
I know. You attempt to bully or to steamroll.
You poor little victim. I'm
a victim of nobody, Piers.
You're a victim of your own maths.
You are a victim of seeking endless popularity and vindication by the masses, having no spine, having no principles, and having no courage.
Thanks, Benjamin.
You are a victim, Piers Morgan. I am far from a victim.
Okay, but I'm very glad we got you on to confirm.
And by the way, with regard to your TAM, I just want to say something to your viewers. Your TAM, unlike you, I am not scared about the future of Israel. I'm confident about the future of Israel. I'm very secure in the future of Israel. I believe in the future of Israel. I'm proud of the actions of the Israel Defense Forces inside the Gaza Strip and everywhere else that we've been called on to fight our corner, because nobody else will. You've made a dreadful folly by taking conversations that you know take place regularly and often in reserve duty.
All right, I'll give the final word to Yossam.
And from the right.
Yeah.
And you have decided to take your own concerns, your own insecurities, and your own fears, which are not well-founded at all, and to export them to imbecilic interviewers like the one that we currently sit in front of.
I think everyone can work out who the imbecile is. Everyone can work out who the imbecile is.
Blows whichever way the wind takes him.
Okay, thank you very much, Benjamin.
Will be remembered.
If you don't shut up, we are going to cut your mic. So if I were you, shut up and let Yotam have the last word.
I work with many of the hostage
Oh, shut up, please. Yotam.
You do not speak for
All right,
them.
cut his mic, please.
Do not speak for
Cut his
them.
mic.
I work with the hostage.
Okay, thank you. Yotam, final word to you.
Okay, the cynical use now of the Hostage family is outrageous. I won't even comment about that. I would say I think we both saw the amount of destruction, and we see death. That's part of war. We know that. Again, I'm not a pacifist. I took part in it. I am very concerned by the amount of death and destruction in Gaza, and I think everyone should be.
Yeah, you know what, Yotam? It's unfortunately, Yotam, I've got to jump in because we run out of time. I've got my next segment waiting, but I would just say the reason I pursued this issue of the numbers of people who died is because, having tried to discredit you by saying you were believing the Hamas numbers, actually the numbers he then gave were significantly higher than anything Hamas has tried to claim have died. So I thought that was very relevant.
One last comment about that.
No, sorry, you're not D-mic'd. Sorry, you're D-mic'd.
Great.
Yotam.
My last comment about that is, again, we could hold in the modern world, a moral stand. We could hold several, we could hold something that to be justified under a state of war, as, having casualties, as, not having a sense of criminalization. But you can't hold that forever. You can't say, we're going to go through an endless war with no period of time.
I agree.
Where you see, and then you say, okay, this is how war looks like.
Yeah.
This is not, at some point you have to, even under humanitarian law, you could hold occupation. Like that's an option under international public law. You could do that.
Yotam, I've got to go. I'm sorry.
Forever.
Yotam, I've got to go. I really appreciate you coming on. I think it's very significant that we've had a former IDF sergeant, current IDF reservist, who thinks over 90,000 Palestinians have been killed. It's good to get that on the record because it's way higher than the Hamas numbers. So I actually thank Benjamin Anthony for giving us that information. Thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
So the old man who was arrested within 60 seconds of Charlie Kirk being assassinated right by the SUV which took Charlie Kirk to hospital is caught on camera on the other side of the stadium trying to walk down the steps and his pants fall down. And it looks just like, where's Wally?
We can actually approximate, because we did, like I said, we're counting seconds, that this happens earliest 30 seconds after the shot is fired. Okay, that they just took Charlie, and it's fast, right? And it's especially fast because we then found footage of George Zinn after the shot rings out, and we're gonna watch this. He's gonna get up, and people are dispersing everywhere, and he kind of calmly gets up and starts making his way down that stadium. You can see that here. We have the light on him, and his pants fall down by themselves. You can see that his pants did not, like, we were kind of working under the assumption that his pants fell down because, I don't know, the police were pulling him, but that's actually incorrect. They just fall down all by themselves. And you can see that a young man comes by to try to assist him. Okay, so has nothing to do with the arrest. Now, to be clear, when we see him sort of making his way down those stairs, we can actually approximate, because we did, and like I said, we're counting seconds, that this happens earliest 30 seconds after the shot is fired. Okay, and this clip, that clip that you just watched, is about 20 seconds long. So it's about a full 50 seconds, and we know that George Zinn is still standing right there. Okay, so somehow George Zinn needs to get from where you just saw him, where his pants fall, to handcuffs in the
So I'm sure many of you are understanding the demonic forces in the outer realms, which I never believed in. So there's Jezebel, and Jezebel is like the jealous woman, the evil woman. And there's Incubus, which is like that sexual man, if you're getting harassed by men. So Megyn Kelly, who was also very close to Charlie, saw the curses that were being sold on Etsy by Jezebel. I just thought it was quite a bizarre but incredible story of how all the messages that we need will come through the Matrix. So good on Megyn for putting this story out, because those of us that walk in light can completely understand how terrible it is.
I have a sort of out of left field story to bring to you, and I want to start with it. I've been wrestling with whether to bring you this story for a few days now. I've been wrestling because I find it so vile and off and odd. I wasn't even sure where to go with it, but I decided that I had to do it because the groups who did this deserve public censure. I learned when I was out in Arizona last week that 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the far-left website Jezebel declared that it had a mission to cast bad luck or a curse on Charlie. They wanted to hurt him in some way. They declared, quote, if the far-right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. And they went on to the website Etsy, yes, Etsy, to, quote, cast a curse on him. Yes, this is actually a thing. Etsy, the website known for making arts and crafts on demand, will happily cast a hex through its witches, who you can hire, on someone if you ask them to. The Jezebel crew was delighted to discover, quote, it's not uncommon for the so-called witches on Etsy to channel their energy toward thwarting Republicans. There's even a subreddit devoted to casting nightly hexes on Trump. Jezebel decided Charlie Kirk, who they've repeatedly described as far right, the founder of the right-wing conspiracy theory factory, Turning Point USA, is, quote, more irritating than most, and asked its audience if they were, quote, interested in punishing Kirk with a hex on him. After all, they told readers, he's basically a fake news vending machine. The article notably does not list the name of any particular author, but simply uses its company name as the byline. So we don't know exactly which writer or staffer at Jezebel, which has long been a disgusting publication, came up with the idea. But since they're attributing it to all of them, so will we in terms of our blame. It was, in fact, the brainchild of one writer, however, because it is written in the first person, a female. The writer explains now, is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. Now comes the obligatory ass-covering paragraph in the piece, just to stave off any negative publicity for Jezebel. Quote, I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. I just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. I want his blue blazers to suddenly all be one size too small. I want one of his socks to always be sliding down his foot. I want his thumb to grow too big to tweet, to ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy coven would be my life's greatest joy. So even in her ass covering, she was asking for Charlie to be rendered less attractive, to not be able to use his microphone and silence his voice, to have discomfort foisted upon him, to stop his ability to tweet or spread his message, and to, quote, ruin his day. Got it? That's the nice part of the Jezebel article. She tells the reader she placed her first spell on Etsy, and it was, quote, in all caps, make everyone hate him.
So this is a bizarre story of some beautifully put people in a forest in Scotland. They are the king and the queen and the handmaiden of Kabbalah. I don't know whether it's a manifestation. I don't know whether they're aliens. I don't know whether they're giving us a message. I don't know whether they're batshit crazy. But what I do know is they're not being removed and that it's on Sky News. Tell me what you think in the comments.
Woodlands in the Scottish borders are refusing to leave despite an eviction notice from the local council. They've been calling themselves the Kingdom of Kabbalah and have set up camp close to the town of Jedburgh. The deadline for them to move from the site is midday today. Our Scotland correspondent Conor Gillis is there for us. Conor, it's such an extraordinary story, isn't it? Explain who this tribe are, where they've come from, and why they're living in the rather chilly, I imagine, surrounds of Jedburgh at the moment.
Yeah, good morning, Jane. This is certainly up there with one of the most bizarre tales that we will tell you today on Sky News. Welcome to the so-called Kingdom of Kabbalah, the place, the location here in the Scottish borders in the town of Jedburgh, where a self-proclaimed African tribe are here. They are saying they are reclaiming land taken from their ancestors 400 years ago, and they have set up camp. They have set up life here by all intents and purposes. You see the tents where the 3 members of this community have been living, and they call themselves the King, the Queen and the Handmaiden, 3 members of this community. And it has become somewhat of a spectacle here in Scotland over the past few months. Clearly this is a very unusual sight anywhere, but certainly here in this small town of the Scottish borders has proved quite controversial. Let's get a sense as to why the so-called tribe are here. Let's speak to the man calling himself the King of the Kingdom of Kabbalah. Good morning, thanks for your time on Sky News. What is the reason for you being here, sir?
The prophecy must be fulfilled. The reclaim of the land which belongs to our forefathers. I am the King of Kabbalah, and I have come to reclaim my heritage, the lost tribe and the lost land for my ancestors.
You're on land, though, that does not belong to you. It belongs to Scottish Borders Council. They want you out.
The land and the earth belongs to the creator of the heavens and the earth. No one belongs to the earth apart from the Kingdom of Kabbalah. The skies, the earth is for the Kingdom of Kabbalah, and we have come to stay.
Hello, madam. You know, the council are saying that this cannot continue. You need to get off their land, and this is not something that is sustainable. What do you say in response to that?
We only follow the laws of the Creator who has given this land to us. It already belongs to us. It was the land of black people, Jacobites, 400 years ago, before they were deported from this land.
We have come to reclaim our heritage. Exactly. This is our land. No one should be able to tell us to leave this land which belongs to our forefathers. We are the true Jacobites. We are the Highlanders.
The law says, though, that you must leave.
The Creator is who we listen to. There is no man-made law which is bigger than the Creator of the heavens and the earth. His laws is our precepts and what we walk with.
So you are planning to stay here for the foreseeable future? You won't be leaving, is that right?
Our tribes are coming. The rest of the people are coming from all the 4 corners of the earth, from Trinidad and Tobago, from Jamaica, from Suriname, and they are coming back to their own land. This is the land of the people, not for Edomites. This is the land for black people, and they are coming back home.
Let me just speak to the lady here. You are calling yourself the handmaiden in this camp. What does that mean? What's your role, and why are you here?
I am the handmaiden, and my role is to do all the housework, most of the housework. Obviously, we all put in every area, but if the chores aren't done, if the tent isn't clean, if the camp, if everything is not where it needs to be, I am held responsible. In the kingdom, in the palace, if everything is not tidy, if everything is not where the queen wants it to be, then I am responsible for training the maids and the handmaids.
Is that something of, coercion? Are you here of your own free will?
Definitely, 100%. This is my calling. This is my purpose. This is what I was created to do. So yes.
So clearly that is the situation.
So thank you for watching, and as I go by, if I find glitches in the matrix, I'll show them to you, and if you know of any, let me know so that I can look them up. This is SJ Ira logging off from planet Earth. Have a beautiful week and dream big, and no fear. Your thoughts create your reality. Okay, I've just remembered what the other one is. That is Prince William talking, and the teacher behind him has got a red face. So that for me was a little glitch. It's like if you know that someone from the other side is trying to get hold of you, your computer jams, or the light bulbs flicker. It's the same sort of thing. And when you go into a shopping centre, look at people standing in the supermarket queue and imagine what colour their aura is. You won't be wrong. Start developing your second sight so that you know truth from reality. Very important.
that you've ever seen. Give her two lips, black roses and clover. Tell her that the lonesome nights are over, Mr. Sandman. I'm so alone, don't want nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam, Mr. Sandman, send me a dream. Mr. Sandman, send me a dream. Mr. Sandman, send